Why'd you start making documentaries? Oh, I did that because okay. So how my story went is this: I started making YouTube videos and stuff like that on streamers because I I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to do stuff. Like I always wanted to do YouTube or Twitch or something, but I didn't know how to do it. And to be honest with you, you guys obviously know this. Um, Streaming is impossible to get into. It's not a thing. You can't do it. You can't start from the bottom unless you go on the Raj show, which is starting on the bottom anyway, and make it. It's not a thing. You can't do it. So, um, what I did is I started making those videos and stuff like that. And why I started making those videos is I actually. So here's how you want to know all the story. Yes. Okay. So here's how it goes. So I finished college, people pog, right? I was finance major, boom, finished college. Why people happy? Um, I finished college, great. I was done. I was going to work at a company called Vanguard. Does anyone here even know what Vanguard is at all? Yes. Okay. So Vanguard is this. If you don't know what it is, it's the number one financial firm in the world of investments. Like they have 5.3 trillion US dollars, right? That's a lot of sellout Sundays, chat. That's a lot. Okay? So I was going to go work for them at their flagship program, which is not the easiest thing to get into. Um, I actually had a 3.8 GPA. I know a lot of you guys think I'm dumb. I am, but on Adderall, I'm actually not so bad. So I was going to go in their flagship program right out of college, is what I was going to do. But here's what happened. This is not trolling. I'm telling you all the truth. So, I took Adderall for 5 years. Okay. And I was I was finished college. Boom, I was going to go to Vanguard. I was going to work that life. I was going to I think my job was going to pay $45,000 a year. So there was that. But right as I was going to go to that college, I went to Wildwood 3 years ago from like a week ago. Okay? 3 years ago. And when I went to Wildwood, I woke up one day and I couldn't move. I could not move. I'm talking like my stomach was in pain, my head was hurting. I woke up, I passed out on the floor, and then I thought I was just completely dehydrated or something, and I fell asleep for 24 hours straight. 24 hours I fell asleep for. I couldn't wake up. I don't know what was wrong with me. I woke up the next day and I went to the beach with my friends. So we went to the beach. I felt decent. I still felt really tired, but I felt like I can move, right? So we went to the beach and then we were going home. So I was going to go home, and then all of a sudden, while I'm in the car, my left arm completely goes numb. I'm talking like I couldn't move it. I couldn't move it. I couldn't feel it. Didn't know what the hell was happening. And my friend, he works for the not the fire department. What's it called, chat? He's a medic. He is an EMT. So he's an EMT slash firefighter, and he like grabs me and he wants to make sure I'm okay. So he checks me. He's like, you're probably fine. You're probably just a little sick or something like that. Well, he was wrong. So, I went to sleep that night, okay? And then I woke up, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like coughing up blood. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I wasn't even thinking. I was screaming on the top of my lungs. And the pain is described as someone takes a knife, stabs it in your heart, and slowly twists it. So I woke up at like 4 in the morning screaming like crazy, and I had no idea what to do. My dad was the only one home because my mom was in Florida, and he just grabs me and just floors it all the way to the hospital, like floors it. Um, and we get to the hospital, and the night before, my mom says, "Yo, you take some ibuprofen, just relax a little bit." So I took a lot of ibuprofen, like my mom told me to do. My dad grabs me, puts me in the car, drives to the hospital as fast as he can. So we get to the hospital. I'm sitting there. They throw me in the ER. They start putting things all around me. They thought I was having a heart attack. So I calmed down a little bit, but I was still in pain. And the doctor walks in, the doc himself. I'm like, dude, I'm in the bathroom. Get out of here. Knock it off. But then afterwards, he comes. I go into the room, and the doctor's like, dude, you're on coke. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. You're on coke. I'm like, no, I'm not. He said, the only reason why you would have something that is going on with your heart like this is if you are doing coke. I'm like, listen, I do not do coke. I do not do coke. Listen, I don't do coke. So I was telling him I wasn't doing coke. He didn't believe me. So they started doing EKGs. They did tons of tests on me. I had to stay in the hospital for a week and a half. And they found out after a bunch of tests, and I had to go through like a bunch of brain scan shit and stuff like that. They found out I have this thing. It's called viral myocarditis, which pretty much what it means is I've had a virus in my heart. I do. I have a virus in my heart. It's still there. I don't know. No one will ever know what it was. It could have been I drank pool water 20 years ago. It could have been I drank pool water while I was at Wildwood. I really don't know what it is, and I'll never know. And essentially what it does is it just attacks my heart. Like, it's a virus that's in my heart. It's dormant right now. But it can come out at any time. It's not likely to ever come out, but it can. So, and the doctor told me after a while, he's like, you know, when your mom told you to get the ibuprofen? I said, yeah. She's like, she probably saved your life. Because I was an idiot. Don't ever be like me. I was a fucking idiot. And what I did, instead of going to the hospital that night like a normal person, when your arm is numb, I'm a fucking idiot for not going to the hospital. I'm so dumb. But the ibuprofen is what probably saved my life. Because if I didn't have that, I probably would have just had my heart problem and just died. Or something. It could have been really fucking bad. I wonder how my friend would have felt being an EMT and then tell me I'm okay, and the next day finds out I'm dead. So, yeah, my mom probably saved my life. Because all I was prescribed was ibuprofen. Like, nonstop. They're like, take ibuprofen. I took like 20 times the dosage every single day. And that's what I sometimes have to do nowadays when I feel sick. I have to take ibuprofen. So, I'm in the hospital, okay? I'm in the hospital. Don't feel that bad for me, chat. Don't feel bad for me. Like, it happened. People have shit way worse than that. I should live a normal, healthy life. So I'm in the hospital, sitting there with a fidget spinner. Don't know what to do. Right? Let me see. I wonder if I can find a picture. I think my friend sent me a picture once. Here, let's see. Hold. I had a fidget spinner. I was fine. You probably mean aspirin? No. So, it's ibuprofen. I still have to take it sometimes. So, I had a fidget spinner. I was doing my thing. And I'm like, fuck. And I genuinely felt this way, right? I've always wanted to do YouTube or streaming. I've been wanting to do this since I was like 10 years old. 10, 11, 12. I've always wanted to do it. It's always been in the back of my head, right? They're like, I don't have any skills. Let's be real. My skills are being a retard. That's it. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at anything else. You know, I'm iron in fucking league. I don't have any skills. Besides being an idiot for people. And I guess it works. So, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life. But what I said to myself is this. I said, okay, well, let me refrain to what I going back to what I did. So, when I got back out, when I was in the hospital, my doctor told me, he said, you can't take Adderall anymore. Because the thing is, the Adderall probably fucked with your heart for 5 years straight and you never did anything for it. Ever. And because of that, it made your heart weak, which then your heart got attacked and the virus came out. So, because of that, you can't ever take Adderall again or you're going to risk killing yourself. So, I mean, chat, that's why when my doctor brought me in the hospital, he said, you must be on coke. Because I was taking Adderall. Does that make sense? There was still Adderall in my system. So yeah. So I'm not able to take Adderall anymore, which means I can't do my job at Vanguard. So I'm like, what the fuck do I possibly do? What do I possibly do to go? I can't take Adderall. I could die. You know, I could try coffee, but it doesn't do the same thing. I could just get meth, but that's very expensive. So now what do I do? So my friend comes to me and he's like, "Yo, I I and I'm only 23, right? So I'm saying to myself, I want to try to do something different because you can always go into Vanguard, right? You can always go into finance and accounting. It's going to be there, you know what I mean? Until Elon Musk builds robots that can do everything. So I'm like, I want to do something while I'm young, and if it fucks up, worst comes to worst, I'll just do that when I'm older. So my friend comes to me and goes, "Yo, why don't you move with me to Long Beach in California?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, come to California with me. My work at my dad's company, I'm going to start working there." Dude, he does like crazy stuff. He makes props for movies. He has $1 million house, multi-million dollars. It's going to be the coolest thing in the fucking world. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we move to Long Beach, and his dad owns a $3 million house in Laguna Beach. His dad is super rich, and he's got a hot-ass wife. He's got some crazy shit. But as I'm there, longer and longer, I was there for 3 months, I found out the company's going bankrupt. It was a total scam. The company was completely going bankrupt. He told me we were going to be making $100,000 a year. We weren't. He said then, okay, when we got there, when we finally landed and were signing papers, how about $30,000 a year each, and you both get commission? What? So he scammed the shit out of me. We were there. I was there for 90. It was the worst 90 days of my life. And also, remember, I just got out of the hospital. So I'm there, going to heart doctors and shit like that, while this dude completely skamazed me, and it was the worst time of my life. So I was in Long Beach for 3 months in an 800 square foot apartment, making $35,000 a year. Like, chat, $35,000 a year in Long Beach, you're not making. You are in debt. It's not. It's not a thing. You can't do that. Everyone around me was making. All of our neighbors were making $100,000 a year. All of them. And even they weren't living lavishly because LA fucking sucks, chat. It sucks. So, 800 square feet, yeah, that's a big apartment.
I have really high heart rate, literally average 110 BPM 80 resting. One day I had a complex migraine and I couldn't feel my whole right side. Same symptoms of stroke. They thought I was on drugs also. Now I'm on Addy and life's good peepo pog.
You're an idiot.
I'm a pharmacist. You're literally surrounded by fucking morons. Like? Your mom? Your doctors? The people trying to help you? Your dad saved your fucking life. Everyone else is a fucking moron.
Yep. Chat, he's just baiting. Let me listen to him. So I went to Long Beach. Worst 3 months of my life. Miserable. Totally miserable. Three months. Here's the pic of you in the hospital. Oh, yeah, here it is. And look, there's my fidget spinner. There I am. I'm making this face. Lit emoji. I was still a retard even in the hospital, chat. So, yeah, it was embarrassing. So, that was me. So, I get back from Long Beach, and Long Beach was the worst 3 months of my life. Worst 3 months of my life. Worst 3 months. I hated every second of it. I go home to Jersey. I'm sitting there in Jersey. I'm in my basement now, back home, playing private servers, doing whatever the hell I usually do, right? I call Vanguard, and they're like, yo, you can come back, baby. You can come back. So I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I can go to Vanguard, pretend this never happened, and then I can just go to Vanguard and live a normal life. Fine. I'm done. I'm calling it a day. It's over. But while I'm in my basement, right, I'm just playing private servers by myself with my friends. We were playing PUBG too. I was also playing with S-Fan, Asman, and McConnell, because I was friends with S-Fan from private servers and stuff like that, or talking to him. And I was friends with McConnell was the first person I was friends with because I found him on I don't remember how did he become friends with McConnell. Oh, he watched my Nostalrius WoW streams from 3 years ago, and he said I was funny. So we became friends with him. Then I became friends with S-Fan and Asmin. So I was playing PUBG with them and stuff like that. I was playing with my friends, and my parents sold my house.
Ms. Wake up, you're still in a coma. We miss you.
No, it's nice here. So while I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. I was gonna start in Vanguard in August of the next year. So I was gonna chill for 7 months, and then I was gonna go to Vanguard. But while I'm there, my dad lost his job like a year before, and my mom just lost her job. So both my parents were without jobs, and my mom got a job offer, a really good job offer in Florida. So my parents were like, hey, we out. So my parents moved to Florida. So we went all the way from Jersey. I had to pack everything up, and we went to Florida. And I was all by myself. So I had no friends. It sucked. I can't imagine what it was like for kids trying to move or who had to move constantly when they were younger because their parents made them. That must fucking suck. Because when I moved there, I was out of college. So for 7 months straight, I had no friends. I didn't see a single person besides my parents. It was very tough. And while I'm there, I'm bored as hell. And my parents just get a job. I'm not going to get a job. What the hell? I'm watching Twitch. So I'm sitting there, and this is my friend. This is where stuff comes in. So as we are packing my stuff up, going to Florida, I say to myself, I want to try something that I've always wanted to try for the past 10 years. It sounds cliche, but it's true. I'm like, I want to try something I've always wanted to try. And I didn't think you were going to be able to make it on Twitch. I never thought it would be possible. So I said to myself, why don't I try YouTube, right? And to be honest with you, I said to myself, how can I make YouTube videos? What do I know? What can I do? So while I'm driving down to Florida, I had this idea in my head to start making videos on streamers. Long Beach is not bad. It's just expensive. Living in California, especially around LA, fuck, dude, it is so expensive. Why the hell would you want to do that? No way. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So I had the idea to make videos on streamers. One, because I thought I could do it in a funny way. Two, so let me go back up. So while I'm sitting there in my basement in Jersey, I start talking to Glink. Does anyone here know who Glink is? Yes. So Glink's a YouTuber. I start talking to him, and I go join his Discord, and his Discord thought that I was very funny. And he did too. He's like, dude, you are really, really funny, and everything you say is a joke. You should try making YouTube videos. And I'm like, oh, me? So he thought I could be funny. He's like, dude, yeah, I think you actually have a chance of doing it, and I'll help you. So he wanted to help me make YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I came up with the idea of making videos on documentaries on streamers, because I thought, and let me be honest with you, YouTube algorithm's impossible, right? We all can agree. It's impossible to make it on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just impossible. So what I did, I thought to myself, why don't I make videos that a streamer can react to? Because let's be real, there's no content for streamers nowadays. And then they'll react to the video that I'm making, which if they react to it, then that will generate some views. So my first video I ever made is Who is Tyler 1, right? I just had the idea, I made it. And it's this video today. A lot of people should probably need to know this nowadays. Honestly. This guy copied me, by the way. If you ever seen this guy's videos, he literally copied me exactly.
Pharmacist here. Ibuprofen blocks the enzyme that makes prostaglandin. It has no effects on viruses. You were treating inflammation while you were dying. Once again, your dad saved your life while bringing you to the doctor.
Steve, you've said total dog shit this entire time. Don't believe anything you say. I know ibuprofen is what saved me. You're an idiot, okay? So this video I made, and so it has 2.6 million views, right, chat? This video had literally no views. I made it, and it got about 30 views in a week. I didn't know what to do. No clue, right? Made this video, no idea what to do. Tyler wasn't watching it, didn't know what the fuck was going on, so I'm pissed, right? I'm like, shit, he's not watching this video, I fucked up. So here's what happened. So I talked to Glink, and Glink's like, yo, why don't you do this? I'm like, what? He's like, at everybody, at everyone that's around Tyler, and see if they can get him to watch it. Well, I did. I added E-Rob and Michaela, but Tyler didn't watch it. You know who did? E-Rob. So E-Rob watched this video on his stream. And I'm not kidding you, when he watched the chat,
I didn't know the Who is Mizkif video had an audiobook version.
when I watched this video chat, it had like 2 views, like 5 views. It had nothing. And E-Rob only had like 400 or 500 viewers. So E-Rob watched this video, and what he did is this: he had his chat go and like the video nonstop and spread it. He's like, dude, this guy is actually hilarious. These are some of the funniest YouTube videos I've ever seen. Spread this thing out and make people watch it. And chat, it went from like, I'm talking like 2 views a day to 200 to 2,000 to points where it was getting 20,000 views. I don't know. E-Rob kind of just threw it into the algorithm. And then from there, I started making other videos on streamers, and it just started to blow the fuck up. I would definitely credit E-Rob to making me 100%. Totally would credit him to doing it. E-Rob probably made me more than anyone else. Totally would agree. So E-Rob helped me out so much. As I started making more videos, though, what you realize as a YouTuber is this.
Curious as to how you came up with the name Mizkif.
Why did it just say it like that? Curious. As you make more videos, I came up with the name Mizkif because my friends would call us Miz, or call me Miz. And then I was naming myself Miz Kid because I was a kid. And then I was leveling a druid. And while I was leveling the druid, I got him to level 10. And I checked my name. And it was Mizkif because the D is next to the F because I don't know how to spell. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, my name's Mizkif from now on. And I played that druid for 4 or 5 years straight. So, as you realize on YouTube, chat, let me tell you how YouTube works. If you're ever interested in YouTube, it sucks. It is a terrible, terrible place. Every time you try to put up a video, copy strikes. Every time you try to do anything, someone's copyright striking you. It is a miserable, miserable life. Every day you're waking up to people copy striking you. You make $0, chat. I'm telling you, on this channel, there is like 10 billion plus views. I've maybe made $300. And I've worked on each of these videos. I worked every day, all day. I'm not talking like I put chat. I woke up every day. I would go downstairs into my garage, work on those videos for 20 hours, go to bed, wake up, do it again. I loved it. I loved it, but there was zero money. Yeah, we used to check my earnings on stream, and it was $10 like a day, if that.
Pharmacist here again. I understand your...
Yeah, okay. So, as I was making these videos, I'm like, wow, this is dog shit. So, here's what happened. While I started making these videos, more streamers started talking to me. I actually went to Texas and hung out with Mitch and met Train. And then I drove Mitch back all the way to Boston, which I actually was on Mitch's streams for a little bit. This is season 0. So, I started growing really fast on YouTube. Like, really, really fast. And a lot of people started reaching out to me and stuff like that. And I was happy. And then I got a message from Ice Poseidon. And then this is where things get fun. So I get a message from Ice, or his manager at the time. And he's like, yo, dude, come over and make a documentary, or like a video. I'm like, oh, dude, that sounds awesome. Like, let's go do that. He's like, yeah, dude, I'll fly you out. I'm like, cool, you're going to fly me out. Because I was broke. I made no money on YouTube, so I was broke. I couldn't fly anywhere. So he flies me out, and, no, pause. I fly myself out. He gives me his debit card. It gets declined. So he's like, I'll pay you back. I never got paid back. So, I flew myself out. I get there. I go to the house. We start chilling. And I'm like, all right, let's make a video. Well, No one was there. So Paul left. People were gone. No one wanted to hang out with me because they were like, I don't really care about you. The only one that tried to help me make a video was this guy named Kyle Faldor. And I don't know if you guys know who he is. He tried helping me make a video. He was really the only one there for me that actually like, really helped out a shit ton. But the video was so bad, chat. It was so bad. It was embarrassing. It was cringy. It was horrible. Because here's how I don't do videos like, live action, like, what's up, boys, like YouTube. I never did it. I did videos like, this, like, where I cut people's photoshops and drag stuff and put your face on a picture. So I did that stuff. And the video was a total failure. I have no idea where it is. It was a total disaster. Didn't even really care. And then Paul gets back. He's like, yo, you want to go on an RV trip with me? And that's where things got fun. So I went on the RV trip. And thus began Cameraman Miz. And boy, was it a fun time. It was a fun fucking time, chat. Up until Horseshoe Bay. Totally miserable. Hated my life there. Total disaster. Get me the hell out. Let's run the fuck away. So I came back to Florida. And I didn't really know if I wanted to start streaming. But I did it anyway. Fuck it. Like, YouTube sucks dick. It's not paying. Might as well try it. I had like, my first stream, I had like 300 views. Everyone's like, dude, it's Mizkif. Whether they knew me from YouTube videos. I think Trainwrecks was talking about my, like me streaming the first time. Trainwrecks actually helped me out a lot when I first started streaming. Or the RV trip, people were like, Miz, it's Miz, right? They were excited. Well, the next day I played World of Warcraft. And I was down to 50 viewers. Everyone stopped watching me. I played BFA. Solorion was there, yeah. It was like, Miz. All my hype was dead. Lost all my hype. Not even 50. Yeah, I remember sometimes. And you know who would steal my viewers, chat? E-Rob. The tables have turned. E-Rob, when I would go live, would steal my viewers. People used to say to me, E-Rob's live, bye. That's what actually used to happen. People used to say, goodbye, E-Rob's live, see you later. And it actually used to happen. But E-Rob used to help me out so much. And Paul helped me out so much. And Train even helped me out so much. Mitch even helped me. I credit everyone else because they helped me grow. Like, they did. Train invited me to the podcast, right? And I actually went up from viewers from there. I went from 100 to 150. E-Rob used to host me all the time. All the time, E-Rob used to host me. Because E-Rob believed in me. He literally said, I think you could be a big streamer. I think you can make it one day. Even Paul said that. Like, people believed in me. They truly did. Especially E-Rob. E-Rob's like, I think you can make it. I think one day you will make it as a big streamer, and I actually think you could do it. So yeah. E-Rob used to host me all the time. Slowly, more and more, I stopped playing WoW, and then I started going like this. E-Rob's like, wait, what the hell's happening? I started to pass E-Rob. He's like, what the fuck? And while I was doing that, while I was growing, I started to talk to Moxie. So how Moxie started was, it was like Blackout just came out, right? I was like 300 viewers crisp. Nice 300 crisp viewers. And Moxie was at like 400 viewers. Not much. And I went in Moxie's chat, and I'm like, hey, yo, what up? Want to play some Blackout? And me and Moxie played Blackout, and it was probably the funniest stream I ever had in my entire life. Like, total retardation. And me and Moxie started becoming like best friends. We started talking about every single night we started hanging out. Me, him, E-Rob, we just started all hanging out and having fun. Russell, Axion, pretty much a lot of people in this house nowadays. And it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Lakari, I started hanging out with like a month or two later. So yeah. And we started going from there. But I lived in Florida, and while I was living in Florida, I actually had like no views. I was 100, 200 viewers max. When I was playing Super Mario 64, I had 100 viewers. Because everyone left once they found out I was a BFA streamer. They were like, bye, Asmon's live. They didn't really care about me whatsoever. And And my mom told me, she's like, look, if you want to keep streaming, that's fine. You're going back to school. So I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? Because my mom kicked me out. She did. She's like, I'm done. She's like, you are going back to school. You said no to Vanguard twice now. Because remember, I said no twice. She's like, you go back to school. You're going for your master's. I said, fine. Understood. I'll go back for my master's and I'll do that. So I went all the way to Jersey. And then I started living there, which started season 2, I guess. And that's where I met Moxie. That's where I started being a retard because I was able to actually talk because my mom wouldn't yell at me. There's a clip somewhere of my mom yelling at me while I was playing BFA. And yeah, that's kind of how everything started. Started acting dumb, got my own apartment, started being an idiot. Chat, in that apartment, I'm not kidding you, I went insane. And it was sponsored in part by Hamad, by the way. He literally paid for me. I made no money. The only person that made me money, McConnell, is someone who always believed in me as a streamer. Always believed in me since the very beginning. McConnell, one of my first streams, gave me 100 gifted subs. And I'm not talking about 100 subs like, oh, let's click a button. McConnell went through the entire 100 people that were in my chat, and there was no gifted sub. McConnell clicked everyone's name and gave them a sub because he wanted me to grow. Look at this. Hold on. Wait, everyone stop. Trainwreck is in my stream. Oh, hey, what? Stop. Hey. Wait, I'm dead. Wait, oh, this guy wanted to Reddit me. Holy shit, Trainwreck's TV is in my stream. Trainwreck's TV. That's twitter.com/Trainwreck's TV. Yo, Trainwreck's, can I go on your podcast? Please. Yes, Mom. Oh, God, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, chat. She got so mad at me. So mad at you. Your voice was deeper back then? Yeah, I wasn't as much of a soy boy. Trey, next we might have to, I might not be able to come on tonight. So did you get on the podcast? Yeah. And I got on the podcast because Train just knew. I've known Train for years. Train knew about me from Glink, Monka W. There was a lot of controversy between them two. But that's how I knew Train, and he let me on. And it actually grew me. Which then I went to, that's when I went from there. I went to New Jersey. New Jersey, I started hanging out with like Moxie, E-Rob a lot, and I just started going from there. And Top Right guy started, and yeah, it's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy, and it just started growing and growing and growing to where we are now. So that's pretty much it. Didn't you drive Mitch back to Maryland? Yeah, Mitch was having a lot of... So back then, when Mitch and Train were... I'm sure a lot of you guys were around for Mitch and Train. When Mitch was leaving, I just made a video about Mitch because I was friends with him. And then I actually flew all the way out and got Mitch and drove him all the way home. So, yeah. So that's it. And that's actually from, you guys ever saw me and Mitch streaming together? That's from me driving Mitch home. So yeah, that's the story. So pretty much, TLDR, it kind of sounds really cliche, but I kind of followed what I always wanted to do from my heart issue, which turned me into a streamer. Now you know. And then season 3, and you know all that bullshit. I mean, most of you guys followed yesterday. So yeah. And now I have no hairline. You followed your heart. Well, I guess that's the kind of lame way of saying it, but yeah. So that's kind of the story, chat. That's pretty much it. Now you know everything. That's kind of how it all happened. And yeah. And then I was like, I always was hanging out with E-Rob, so I'm like, yo, come over. Like, let's do this together. And because we would always hang out with each other. And yeah. That's pretty much the story of what happened. More of the story is, if you want to be famous on Twitch, get a heart attack. Yep, now you know. Now you know. Make Moxie come out. Look, I trust me, you have no idea. Everyone wishes Moxie would come out, but it's just like Moxie's not a real thing, so how is he gonna come out? Did you ever live with McConnell? Yeah, I did. Mizkif joins the Scuff podcast. All right, let's join Trey Nexus podcast again.
Back, I do this. We meet in the middle. We try to make it work. But when it comes to like some huffy, like you either do this or I'm gone, then it's kind of like,
what's up, guys? I'm back. Sorry.
Position,
what's up?
And you're being like, oh, it's either this or I'm gone. Then fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're talking about also, I want to dial this back for a second.
Please,
and say that
please, dude.
Everything is editorialized. Do you guys really think it was just an ultimatum?
I got ignored. It's okay. So yeah, that hairline is absolutely miserable. I'm not. Look, this is not an E-Rob stream. I'm not watching all my fucking clips from back in the day. Okay, they happened, and that's pretty much it. But yeah. How did you meet Poke? How did I meet Poke?
I'll never forget the Jersey streams. Was going through quite the rough patch back then, and the streams were always there for me. The driving streams from NJ to Austin kept me entertained through the night and into the morning at school. Mizkif hug.
Oh, I remember that.
BFA pre-patch and peanut butter feels strong.
Oh,
man.
Russell's right. Okay, so how I met at Poke was at TwitchCon. When I went to TwitchCon, I was like, yo, I think I just started... I think the podcast is how I knew Poke. I started really hanging out with Poke at TwitchCon, and then we became friends. And then that's kind of how it all happened. So me and Train were just like, or me and Poke started hanging out, and yeah, we went from there. And then, chat, here's what happened. So I'm out of ideas. No clue what to do. No idea, right? BFA's dead, crabs, no idea what to do. I've already went through everything in my apartment. What the fuck do I possibly play? What do I possibly do? I'm growing. I don't know what to do. There's nothing much more for me to try. I'm confused, right? I'm sitting there in despair. So here's what I did. I turned on Poke's stream, and he was playing a new game that came out. A game he found called Marbles. And I was in awe. And I typed exclamation point play. In chat, I won the first race ever. I won it. I won my first race. And from that day, I was addicted as fuck. And I started playing it on my stream. And for like 3 months straight, all we did was play marbles every single day. Every day. So yeah. That's it. And then from there, stupid stuff went on, and it's kind of just gotten ridiculous ever since. But that's pretty much all the stories from, like, it's not the stories, but it's like the lore of what's happened. So now you know. Remember Cheeseball, Andy? Yeah, I do remember all of it. Oh yeah, we watched Toy Story on stream. Remember that too. Some dude is still streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender. How? I want to watch that. Clams.
I miss Marbies.
So yeah. That's pretty much it. Now you guys know everything. Now you guys know all the stuff. You don't even need it. So that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else I can really tell you that you wouldn't know. Besides that I'm gay. There's not really much. E-Rob in the back? Wait, what? Well, I'm not watching that. So, where the hell were we? Oh yeah, we were here. Doc got unbanned. What's Super Cool's lore? Super Cool watched me, and then Super Cool started streaming. Z Lucky, what's up? And I would shout him out a lot because he's a cool guy. Why did you move to Austin through all places?
What video editing software did you use for documentaries?
Adobe
And do
Premiere.
you know how to do face rigging?
Why did I move to Austin? Soda poppin'. Why else would you move here? Let's be real. Come on. Chance Morris is here. He's right down the street. That's awesome. No, Beef, thanks for 3 months in a row. Leech, look, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But the reality is, income tax is really good. And also, it's just, I got really lonely, right? Like, being alone all day in Jersey was miserable, chat. Miserable. Like, if I would have quit streaming if I had to do that forever. There's no way. I couldn't live by myself every single day. I was miserable. I couldn't do it. So I that's why me and Moxie wanted to get a place, because we were both really just bored out of our minds. We just couldn't live with, like, Moxie lives by himself, and that's why I wanted him to get out of there.